Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever scanned a QR code, maybe on a menu or a poster, and wondered, if the info behind it could actually change after it was printed? Or maybe you've thought about using QR codes for your own business, but then you hesitated, picturing like endless reprinting every time something shifts. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into dynamic QR codes. And this isn't just about scanning a square, it's really about unlocking a surprisingly powerful, though often overlooked, digital tool, especially if you're running a small local business.
Yeah, what's really fascinating here, I think, is how dynamic QR codes offer this incredibly versatile and um, genuinely cost-effective way for small businesses to connect better with customers and also to streamline operations, boost their marketing. It's quite a
Mm.
lot packed into that little square. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it's really about agility, isn't it?
Mm.
And intelligence, being able to adapt instantly without changing physical things, and crucially, getting insights into customer behavior through analytics.
Sure.
That's something static codes just they just can't do.
Yeah, that point about agility and intelligence, that really resonates. But, for a small business owner, maybe already juggling a lot, does this instant adaptability come with like a steep learning curve or technical headaches they should be aware of? So, our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the critical insights from our sources on dynamic QR codes. We want to understand what they are, how you can actually use them, the key things to consider. Also, you can leverage them effectively in your own business. And hey, for more resources and helpful links on this, do check out the description below. So let's start right at the beginning then. What exactly is a dynamic QR code, and how is it really different from the static ones we probably see more often?
Right. So essentially, a dynamic QR code lets you update or modify the linked content, the website, the PDF, whatever it is, without changing the visual QR code itself. That's the key. The power is in being able to change where that code points whenever you need to, even if it's already printed on, say, 1,000 flyers. Think of it kind of like a forwarding system, a clever one. The QR code itself uses a short link, right? And you, through a dashboard, just change where that short link sends people. That's fundamentally different from static QR codes.
No.
Those are, locked in. The data is embedded directly. Once you make a static code, that's it. It points there forever. Set in stone, basically.
Okay, so a forwarding system, that makes sense. But where does that really hit home for a small business owner? Like, what's the biggest pain point it solves that static codes just can't touch?
Well, the benefits are pretty significant, and yeah, they often tackle those exact pain points. First off, cost effectiveness. And look, the real insight here isn't just, oh, you save on reprinting. It's more profound. It's about turning every single printed piece of marketing, your flyer, your menu, your business card, into a living, adaptable asset. So you shift your thinking and your budget from constant reactive reprinting to something more dynamic, more real-time. Just imagine updating your daily specials without printing stacks of new menus every single day.
Mhm.
It really maximizes the life, the value of everything you print.
That's a really good point, maximizing the lifetime value. Okay, what else?
Second, they are incredibly trackable, and here's where it gets really powerful. The analytics basically transform every physical customer interaction, every scan, into a valuable data point. You're not just counting scans, you're starting to understand behavior. These dynamic QR code platforms, they give you pretty detailed analytics. You can see the number of scans, sure, but also the time they were scanned, roughly where they were scanned, even the type of device used.
Wow, okay, so you could see, like, if people scan the menu more at lunchtime versus dinner.
Exactly. Or maybe that QR code on the specials board gets way more scans between 7 and 8 p.m. Or perhaps customers near the windows scan a different offer more often. This kind of granular data lets you optimize your physical space, your promotions, with a precision that used to be just for online stuff. It basically turns your brick-and-mortar shop into a mini data-driven marketing lab.
A marketing lab, I like that. Okay, so cost saving, trackable. What else?
Third, they look professional, and they're highly customizable. Many platforms let you add your logo, your brand colors, change the pattern so it aligns perfectly with your brand identity, looks much more polished. And finally, they're just really flexible and easy to manage. You can edit that destination link in real time through the dashboard, so they're ideal for ongoing campaigns or things that change often without any major fuss.
That flexibility, yeah, it really does sound like a potential game changer. I'm picturing like a small cafe owner right now. How does this actually translate into one of those aha moments for them day to day? Are there maybe some surprising ways businesses use them or common mistakes maybe when trying to be so flexible?
Good question. It really is about making daily operations smarter. For cafes and restaurants, yeah, digital menus are the classic example. Customer scans a code on the table, boom, latest menu on their phone. It's like having a little magic square, isn't it? You whisper new specials to it, and it instantly tells everyone who scans. No more frantic late-night printing because the fish special changed. It solves that whole tired-looking paper menu problem right away.
Okay, menus make total sense. What about other types of businesses? Retail, services.
Oh, absolutely. For promotions and loyalty programs. Put codes on flyers, receipts, direct customers to limited time offers, or maybe a sign-up page for your loyalty scheme. And crucially, you can change that offer, say, from 20% off this week to free coffee next week, using the exact same QR code. No need to reprint a single flyer. They can also help with in-store upselling or cross-selling, even things like queue busting.
Queue busting, how does that work?
Well, you could have a code that lets people pay on their phone while waiting, or maybe scan a code on a display to add an item directly to an online cart for later purchase or delivery. Speeds things up. Another great use is for customer feedback. Stick a code on receipts or signs that link straight to a feedback form, or maybe your Google Reviews page. And if you decide to switch feedback platforms later, no problem, just update the link. The QR code stays the same.
Ah, that's clever. So you're not stuck if you change tools.
Exactly. And social media engagement, too. Drive traffic to your Instagram, your Facebook, maybe one of those Linktree-style bio pages where all your links live. You could point the same code to highlight a new product launch on Instagram this week, then switch it next week to promote a holiday sale on Facebook, all with the same printed code on your counter or flyer.
Right. Keeps your print materials relevant for longer.
Definitely. And one more product info or tutorials. Put a code on your product packaging. It could link to detailed info, care instructions, maybe even a how-to video. And if you update the product or instructions, you just update the linked content remotely. It's incredibly adaptable, really.
Okay, so we've got a good handle on what they are and a whole bunch of ways they can be used. Really practical stuff. But to really squeeze the most value out of dynamic QR codes, what specific features should a small business look for when they're choosing a platform? And are there any critical things they absolutely need to keep in mind before jumping in?
Good points. To really maximize potential, I'd say focus on a few key things. First, those in-depth analytics we talked about. Seriously, I can't stress enough how valuable tracking scan numbers, origin country, device type, even rough location can be. That data is gold for understanding your audience, seeing if your campaigns are actually working, and tweaking your strategy. Customization is also really important. Make sure the QR codes look like your brand. Good platforms let you add logos, change the colors, the dots, the corner squares, even modify the background.
Any practical tips on the design side?
Yeah, always ensure good contrast. Dark on light colors usually works best. Don't make it too fancy that it becomes hard to scan.
No.
And size matters generally. Aim for at least 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, maybe bigger depending on the scanning distance. And look for ease of management. You want a platform with a dashboard that's, intuitive. Easy to edit the URLs, organize your codes, and see all those lovely analytics in one spot.
Makes sense. So, analytics, customization, ease of use. Got it. What about the potential downsides or things to watch out for?
Right, important considerations. First, cost. Unlike static QR codes, which are usually free to generate, dynamic ones typically need a paid subscription to a management platform.
Right.
Now, often the savings on printing and the value of the data offset this cost, but it is a factor to budget for.
Okay, so there's likely an ongoing subscription.
Usually, yes. Also, think about internet dependency. Your customers absolutely need an internet connection, Wi-Fi or mobile data, to scan the code and actually see the linked content. So if you're in an area with really poor connectivity, maybe a basement cafe or a rural spot, it's wise to have an alternative, like offer a physical menu alongside the QR code, just in case.
Good practical advice. Anything else?
Yeah, the reliability of the provider is crucial. Since the dynamic code relies on the provider's server to do that redirect, you need to choose a reputable company. Someone with a strong track record, good uptime. You need those codes to work reliably all the time. And one more thing, kind of related, some platforms offer the option to use your own custom domain for the short links.
Oh, what's the benefit of that?
Well, it means the link underlying the QR code looks like it's coming from your website, e.g. qr.yourbusiness.com for Tegeriker. It adds an extra layer of professionalism and brand control. And maybe gives you a bit more long-term security if you ever switch providers, though that can get technical.
Right. Interesting. Good things to keep in mind. Okay, so let's pull this all together. What does this all really mean for you, the small business owner listening right now? Our deep dive today, it really shows that dynamic QR codes, they can be a genuine game changer. They offer these incredible possibilities, letting you change linked content after printing, tracking how customers engage, keeping your brand consistent, all pretty effortlessly. Fundamentally, it seems to be about saving time, saving money, and getting that crucial data to help you grow smarter.
Absolutely. And this really raises a broader question for any business today, doesn't it? In this increasingly digital world, how do we move beyond just, having a website or a social media page to truly leveraging these digital tools for ongoing adaptation and actual intelligence? The insights you get from dynamic QR codes, they aren't just about counting clicks. They're about understanding that evolving conversation with your customers. They empower you to refine your whole approach, really one scan at a time. So thinking about your own situation, what opportunities for that kind of real-time responsiveness, that data-driven understanding, what stands out to you after exploring this adaptable solution?
That is a powerful thought to leave everyone with, especially for any small business out there looking to stay agile and connected in today's world. We really hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective, showing how dynamic QR codes aren't just some minor technical detail, but they can actually be a core strategic asset. We look forward to exploring more ways to boost your business with smart digital tools in our next deep dive.